Shit, 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 shit! No, 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 no!
Some people, damn shit.
Tim! Tim! Get, Tim, get!
Some encounters aren't about bad luck, but about the moment people underestimate what they're facing. A live streamer climbs Mount Fuji in winter with almost no gear, while a motorcyclist steps too close to a mother bear protecting her cubs. When nature doesn't give second chances, how do you know which decision will be your last? Tommy is a committed mountain biking creator whose work focuses on downhill runs and trail challenges. His content spans many types of terrain, from easier routes to technical descents, fueled by a strong passion for riding. In March 2025, Tommy rides with a group of friends on a fast downhill run along a narrow mountain trail. As their pace increases, the danger rises. In settings like this, one small error can become serious very quickly, and that is exactly what unfolds. The group slows near a tight corner that appears both risky and inviting. Riders take turns trying it. The first rider makes it through without problems. The next rider follows confidently but misjudges. His speed loses control and slides into a hazardous section of the trail.
Here, I'll go.
Oh, shit, 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 shit! No, 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 no!
Oh, no.
No!
He kept going!
No!
I'm good.
Are you good?
Daniel,
I'm good.
are you sure?
Yeah. Where's my bike?
It's fine, your bike's fine, dude.
My GoPro's not. I'm okay, thank God. Look what I just came down.
Yeah.
I slid down the entire thing.
He laid it right there. That's his head.
Yeah.
Or that's his body.
And he held on right here, so I thought he saved himself.
But I thought he kept sliding.
Yeah.
Rather than stopping, he keeps sliding downhill. He briefly connects with the ground, catching himself for a moment, but gravity pulls him farther. He slides across a narrow ledge before dropping even lower, narrowly escaping a worse result. After the crash, the group agrees not to attempt the corner again. They cooperate to retrieve the bike with one person remaining below, while another climbs up to bring it back. The rider is extremely lucky. Despite how severe the fall looks, he avoids broken bones and suffers only minor injuries. After seeing how dangerous the corner really is, Tommy decides not to attempt it himself and chooses to avoid unnecessary risks. The incident emphasizes how important protective gear is during high-speed riding. It remains unclear if the rider struck his head, but most of the impact seemed to be absorbed by his back. The crash was likely caused by poor speed judgment and trail layout rather than equipment failure. Would you avoid this corner or try again with better preparation? On December 15, 2025, YouTuber Pasha Brill uploaded one of the most unsettling exploration videos he had ever captured. Pasha was exploring a mountain range close to his hometown, intending to enter a cave he had found on an earlier trip. From the beginning, the location felt unlike a normal exploration site. The cave looked extremely tight, completely unlit, and intensely claustrophobic. Despite the obvious warning signs, he decided to continue. He entered the cave directly unaware that this choice would soon place him in serious danger.
The mouth of the cave wasn't that bad, but I knew what was coming would be worse. Then I saw the tunnels. Long, narrow, disappearing into pitch black.
The entrance itself did not appear especially threatening, but conditions deteriorated the farther he went. The tunnels grew long and narrow, stretching into total darkness. The fear came not only from the lack of light, but from the increasing realization that getting back out might not be easy. Ignoring the risks, Pasha pushed deeper. As he moved farther into the cave system, the passages tightened even more. Light nearly disappeared, and even minor errors could lead to severe consequences. Wet clay soaked his clothes, turning every surface slick. Crawling became harder, breathing more labored, and the air felt thick and stagnant. At one point, he had to contort his body into an extreme position just to continue moving. He kept filming to maintain focus. Eventually, he reached a small, open pocket barely large enough to rest for a moment. That was when he noticed several bats nearby, close enough to brush past his face. Though he was not usually afraid of them, the confined space made the moment deeply disturbing. As he pressed on, the fear of becoming trapped intensified. That fear soon became real. Pasha Bro became stuck deep inside the cave, completely alone. Panic set in as he fought to free himself, knowing that one wrong move could worsen the situation. After several tense minutes, he managed to force his way through, but the danger was not over. Pasha still had another 5-hour crawl ahead before finally exiting the cave. He emerged cold, exhausted, shaken, but alive. Later, he described the experience as the most dangerous situation he had ever faced while exploring. Being trapped underground alone is a nightmare that leaves a lasting impact. Do you think careful preparation can reduce risks like this, or are some caves simply too dangerous to explore safely? Tetsu Shiohara was a Japanese live streamer remembered by former classmates as socially withdrawn and dealing with severe personal hardship, including stage 4 colon cancer. He turned to live streaming because his small online audience was the only space where he felt comfortable connecting with others. Over time, he developed an obsession with climbing Mount Fuji. After viewers asked to see the mountain during winter, he began a snowy ascent on October 28, 2019. Despite limited experience and inadequate equipment, he climbed far higher than expected, nearly reaching the summit before everything suddenly changed. As he continued upward, holding the camera and uncertain whether he was on the correct route, conditions began to deteriorate.
なかなか危ないここが滑って下山する。よし、岩を追っていこう。斜面になっちゃってんだ。この道が埋まってね、半分ね。道合ってんのこれ。なんか相当埋まってんだけど雪で。ここも危ないね。ちょっとね、斜面。
Viewers watching the live stream witnessed the fall and immediately alerted authorities. Rescue teams started searching the upper slopes of Mount Fuji the following morning, concentrating on the area around the 3,000-meter mark near where the live stream appeared to end. The search lasted for hours, but the altitude and steep frozen terrain made the operation extremely dangerous for rescuers. By October 30th, 2 days after the fall, a body was found on the mountain's lower snowfield. The location and timing aligned with what had been seen on the live stream, although officials did not immediately confirm the identity. Later reports and circumstances strongly suggested the remains belonged to the missing climber. No official information was released about his equipment or camera. What remains is a live stream that captured a tragic moment and a perilous recovery effort in one of Japan's harshest winter environments. Do you think the pressure of live streaming played a role, or was the climb already too dangerous from the beginning? Omar Farang Zin, a 48-year-old Italian from Samarate near Milan, worked as an airport driver by day, but his true passion lay in adventure, motorcycles, travel, and exploring the wild. Friends called him Farang, a nickname that reflected both his deep affection for Thailand and his restless, wandering spirit. In the summer of 2025, Omar began a motorcycle journey across Europe. He rode through Croatia and Serbia before reaching Romania, drawn by the dramatic Carpathian Mountains and the legendary Transfăgărășan Road, famous for its sharp turns and breathtaking views. As a lover of nature and wildlife, Omar knew that Romania is home to the largest brown bear population in the European Union. On July 3rd near Vidraru Dam, he encountered a mother bear with her cubs. Hoping for a closer look, he approached them while filming and attempted to feed the bear, an extremely dangerous act in a region where feeding wildlife is strongly discouraged.
Oh, sta venendo verso di me.
Italian a fost omorât azi dimineață de o ursoaică cu pui pe care a încercat să o hrănească din palmă pe Transfăgărășan. Polițiștii au găsit fotografii care ne arată că victima s-a apropiat nepermis de mult de animale. 4 ori mai mulți urși decât ar fi numărul optim. Pentru că nu mai găsesc mâncare în pădure, sălbăticiunile ies la șosea, unde au învățat să stea la selfie ca să primească hrană.
That footage would become Omar's final recording. Tragically, the mother bear, acting instinctively to protect her cubs, attacked him. He was mauled and dragged into a steep ravine. His motorcycle was later found abandoned, and rescue teams eventually recovered his body. The incident sent shockwaves through both Italy and Romania, underscoring how quickly wildlife encounters can turn deadly. Omar's story serves as a painful reminder that while adventure and natural beauty are powerfully alluring, respect for wild animals is essential. His love for exploration lives on, even as his fate warns travelers around the world about the risks of crossing unseen boundaries in nature. Do you believe clearer warnings and stricter enforcement could prevent tragedies like this, or does responsibility ultimately rest with personal judgment? On January 8, 2026, Aris Masip went through an ordeal that forced her to question every choice she had made. She survived by a narrow margin. She was skiing at Pic de l'Ortel in Andorra, with her dog on terrain she knew well. She had been on this mountain 7 or 8 times that year alone, and in the 5 days before the footage was recorded, it was already her 3rd descent on the same slope. That level of familiarity gave her a powerful sense of confidence. Repeating the route so often made her believe nothing serious could happen. But comfort is often when danger becomes most real, when routine slowly causes genuine risks to be overlooked. That day, she triggered an avalanche.
Shim! Get! Shim! Get! Shim! Get! Shim! chaval. Sim! Sim! What, chaval?
She was swept into moving snow with no clear escape, accelerating as she was carried downhill. Her dog stayed close behind, risking his own life to follow her, unaware that the situation could have ended fatally for both of them. In moments like this, loyalty doesn't vanish, even when survival itself is uncertain. What she later described as pure luck allowed the snow to slow and finally stop. Only then did she truly grasp how close they had come to losing their lives. Afterward, she shared the footage and admitted that returning to the same area again and again had convinced her the danger was minimal. Familiar ground, simple objectives, and repeated runs created a false sense of security, even though the conditions had never truly changed. Only in hindsight did she realize how routine can quietly replace caution, and how narrowly the outcome avoided being fatal. Does experience always make situations safer, or can it slowly create an illusion of control? A group of young hikers were making their way along a mountain trail when they came across a stack of large rocks sitting beside the path. A few of them thought it would be entertaining and possibly attract attention online to shove the rocks downhill while recording. What appeared to be a harmless idea quickly turned dangerous.
3!
From one viewpoint, it might not seem severe, but another angle shows just how risky the situation really was. It wasn't only one rock that moved. Several others broke free and rolled down the slope, including one that came straight toward where one of them had been standing, nearly pulling him with it. Luckily, he managed to keep his balance and survived. The incident shows how fast a brief moment of excitement can turn into a serious hazard. What started as a joke created danger not only for those involved, but for anyone who might have been below. When attention becomes the goal, safety is often ignored. How often do people underestimate real danger just to capture a moment on camera? In 2010, a student named Arian took part in a school camping trip near Fort Mills in the Philippines. While touring the fort, she filmed a short clip of her classmates walking through the area. Years later, when she replayed the footage, she noticed something unusual she hadn't seen at the time. For a brief instant, a dark figure appears on the upper level of a barracks. The shape looks human, but not quite. It appears completely gray and moves swiftly across the structure before vanishing. The figure shows up only once and does not appear anywhere else in the video or in any other recordings. Fort Mills is a historic military location where many American and Philippine soldiers lost their lives in 1942. Because of that history, the brief appearance has sparked questions. The figure never appears again. It could be a shadow, a lighting illusion, or something else entirely. Do you think it was connected to the site's past? M. Rosso, a Brazilian explorer, was camping beside a river deep in the forest with his friend Adriel. At around 3 a.m., he woke up and decided to fish again. At first, the surroundings were completely quiet, but before long, unfamiliar noises began emerging from the darkness.
Gente, tá fazendo E eu tô escutando bastante barulho também pra esses lados aqui, ó, Greg. E onça adora ficar aqui, ó, gente. Onça adora isso aí, ó. Tá?
He pointed his flashlight toward the tree line and noticed something watching from within the forest.
Lá pra cima, amor. Quer ir na estrada? É aquilo que eu sempre falo, a gente mora aqui no estado do Mato Grosso. Eu não preciso perder meu tempo pra ficar mentindo pra vocês. Isso aqui foi esses dias, tá? Era de dia, à tarde. Escutou, amor?
A pair of reflective eyes stared back at him. The sound soon felt closer, as if whatever was there was circling their campsite. Worried about their safety, they retreated to the tent and remained perfectly still until sunrise. When daylight arrived, there were no obvious signs that anything had been nearby. Even so, both were convinced they had been watched during the night. It was most likely a wild animal passing through the area attracted by movement or light. Thankfully, they stayed calm and made it through the night without harm. What would you have done in that situation? The next clip of the night comes from EB, That Barber, a UK-based barber and content creator from Trowbridge, normally known for upbeat and light-hearted posts. This time, he records a nighttime visit to a woodland linked to local folklore, where humor slowly gives way to genuine unease. On January 14, 2026, the group enters Sally in the woods after dark. The area is known for reports of strange noises, sightings, and a ruined tower hidden deeper among the trees. As they walk in, they explain the site's reputation and the legend of Sarah Gibson, an 18th century widow believed by some to have been a witch, along with stories of screams and unexplained activity near the tower. At first, the tone is playful, but their body language shows caution.
What the was that?
Oh my days.
Gibby Bonder! I can't see, bro, because of that light. So, like, if anything's actually there, my brain's telling me run away.
Yeah.
But because I'm... This is Sally's kingdom. Is that boarded up?
Yeah.
Bro, it's open. CCTV in operation. Shh! What the fuck is that noise? Can you hear her?
Yeah. No.
Wait, come here.
Farther in the darkness, closes around them, and the joking feels strained. While heading toward the tower, a sudden unexplained sound stops them. Near the structure, more noises follow closer and harder to identify, causing them to slow down and reconsider continuing. A sudden movement triggers a sharp scare, breaking their confidence.
Is that fucking John Fury you can hear?
No waiting around.
Oh my days.
I want you to go today.
Today?
Shut the mullet, pig. Go
Who's
today.
calling a fucking pig? Oh, and what did he just call you?
Thinking the exploration is over, they turn back toward the edge of the woods.
Sally's like this. She actually tries to trap us in sometimes. Boys and girls, we've made it to the end of Sally in the woods.
Yeah.
Definitely, to be fair, we really happen to be... What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god. Who is that? Who is that, bro?
I think that was Sally.
What was that?
Just before leaving another sound or movement behind them, sparks panic and a hurried retreat. Later, they admit no clear evidence was found, but the atmosphere alone made the experience disturbing. Regardless of the cause, the situation escalated quickly. Night exploration in unfamiliar forests carries real risks. Would you keep going or leave once the atmosphere shifted? This video, posted by elquaiqui.tv on TikTok, was filmed at night on a ranch in Mexico. While inspecting his land, a man spots a figure standing motionless in the dark. He stops, staying quiet and still as though unable to respond. After a short pause, he turns away. When he looks back again, the figure is gone. He later checks the area and finds no footprints or any sign that someone had been there. Some viewers point out the figure's feet seem slightly above the ground, hinting at possible editing. Others believe it appeared to hover because it was not human. Whatever the reason, what stood there did not seem human. The figure might be a visual trick or altered footage, yet the absence of tracks feels odd. If it was genuine, what could explain the stillness and disappearance? What do you think happened that night? The next disturbing clip comes from Parkinson Paranormal, an Australian investigation team known for revisiting locations linked to hostile activity. On November 15th of 2025, they returned to Point Lonsdale expecting a routine investigation, unaware of how quickly the night will escalate. Before the investigation officially begins, the lead investigator experiences sudden chest pain, a sensation he says occurs every time he comes back to Point Lanesdale. A guest nearby also feels difficulty breathing in one section of the path, which fades once she steps away. The team notes these physical effects usually grow stronger after dark and near areas of reported activity.
I know you are a bit nervous and concerned about going into that back section, so you don't have to follow us there.
2 EMF meters are placed between investigators with no nearby devices or clear environmental cause. Both spike sharply at the same moment, then drop back to 0. The brief, moving readings suggest motion rather than fixed interference.
Whoa! Is someone making things move in the trees? Is there someone up in the trees?
During an EVP session, clear responses are captured that seem to match the questions asked, giving the impression of direct interaction. As the group considers moving deeper into a more negative area, the chest pain returns and becomes stronger, something the lead investigator says has happened on past visits.
Starts earlier than you want it to. I didn't want to deal with them this early, and now I've got pain right in the middle of my chest, which is very common here.
When there was still some light, Holly said that she was having like a hard time breathing. It was a little bit further up the path there towards that other plot.
An Estes method session is then used to communicate with an entity the team calls the Witch. Several responses are recorded, some dismissive, and others openly confrontational, while certain questions are avoided, suggesting control over the location. A sudden, loud noise bursts from the bushes behind one investigator, stopping the session. Scratching sounds follow.
That was loud. It was right behind him.
Photos taken moments apart later show one image containing a misty, face-like shape that is missing from the others. The team says this is the first photographic anomaly they have captured at the site.
Now seems like a good time to pause the video to go over this photographic evidence with you. I took multiple photos in the exact same spot, and you can see here in the first photo, there's nothing. It's just the bushes and the trees. It's very normal, but as we move to the second photo taken in the same spot, it appears like we have captured a face, and this was absolutely shocking for me to see this as I reviewed all the photos the next day.
Afterward, the team reflects on a pattern seen over years at Point Lonsdale: early physical sensations, intelligent responses through equipment, rising hostility and intimidation instead of calm communication. Although no one is harmed, the repeated aggression convinces them this will be their final visit, believing the location shows awareness, intelligence, and hostility. Every time the team visits this place, the same things happen, like chest pain and strange reactions. This could be caused by stress or fear, or it could mean something unusual is really there. What do you think is more likely? The footage comes from Ectoplasm Explorers, a California-based team recognized for conducting real-time spirit box sessions in abandoned areas. On January 17, 2026, Josh and Johnny start a quiet investigation on an empty wooded road. What they don't expect is that the night ahead will shift into something far more unsettling. At first, the responses are faint and fragmented, gradually building tension.
Killed Charlie. Who's Charlie?
Who's Charlie? Who's Charlie and why'd you kill him?
Well, they might be saying to kill Charlie.
Later, a clearer male-sounding voice breaks through, seeming to respond directly to their questions. The clarity makes it feel purposeful rather than simple radio interference.
Did our footage get wiped?
I'm not sure, I don't think so. I turned around and then it was back at 0. I must have been tripping.
Soon after, brief instructions are heard mentioning movement and a distant church. These replies suggest awareness of the surroundings and an attempt to influence the investigators.
That said Azeroth. Isn't that an angel name?
Maybe.
What is Azeroth? Or was it Ezra? Like the Jewish, like... Was it Azra or Ezra? You don't have to cuss at me. Like, I'm not cussing at you.
Did you say Azara or Azeroth?
Hopefully what? Like, hopefully what? As you said it again, Azra. What is Azra?
Even when they offer to leave if instructed, no direct command to go is given. Instead, the exchange shifts between incomplete answers, mocking remarks, and aggressive tones. As batteries weaken and communication fades, the session ends without clear resolution. Although signs of awareness and intelligence appear present, the hostility keeps the encounter unresolved. The night ends with unanswered questions about the name that was mentioned and the reason behind the commands. The responses show awareness and direction, but also confusion and aggression. This could be radio interference or something reacting to the investigators. Do you think the instructions were random words or signs of real intent?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.